Roadkill, here. This is the Studio Mini XL mixer for iPad. From right to left, we have the record button, stop button, play/pause button, timeline slider and repeat button. Click the record button to record on a track. The record enabled must be pressed first. You can only record one track at a time. The iPad has a single mono input through the built-in microphone or the input accessed by the headphone jack. A mono/stereo input is accessible through the camera connection kit and USB audio interface. The stop button stops playback or recording, returns the song to the beginning. The play button begins playback. During playback it lights up and becomes a pause button. This lets you pause playback in order to continue playing from that exact point. The timeline slider moves as the song progresses during playback. You can move it to shift to any point in the song. The repeat button repeats the current song indefinitely. Faders. There are 9 faders. The first 8 correspond to the 8 audio tracks you can record onto. The 9th track is for loops. Moving the faders adjusts their corresponding track volumes, balancing the tracks to mix. Record enable buttons, marked by an R, are how you organize a track for recording. Press the R on the track you want to record onto, and then you are able to press the record button to begin recording on the track. Mute buttons. Mute audio output on their corresponding tracks. Solo buttons mute all tracks that are not soloed. To avoid confusion, mute and solo buttons cannot be used at the same time. You can access audio loops by clicking on the loop button. There's also metronome. There are 78 drum grooves and various genres to choose from. When record enable, mute, solo and loops buttons are not accessible, they appear darker. Buttons become disabled like this at times to maintain proper operation. Directly above each record enable button is an LED light. When the track is empty it is off, and when there is previously recorded audio on that track it lights on. Meters are calibrated to dynamically display each track's volume output level. They also display the input volume level of a track during recording, which will help you make adjustments to capture the perfect sound. To enable track delete, swipe vertically directly where the meter for the track you want to delete is located. Song title and time display. This is where the song title is displayed. Touching here brings up the keyboard letting you title the current song. On the right side is a time display. Tab bar. There are 7 buttons in the tab bar. Let's look at them from left to right. Song title and time display. This is where the song title is displayed. Touching introduces the keyboard, letting you title the current song. On the right side is a time display. There are 7 buttons in the tab bar. Let's look at them from left to right. These are the 7 buttons in the tab bar. 1. New. Press this to create a new song. It will save the current song and load a brand new one. 2. Copy. This will create a copy of the current song, while keeping a saved version of the original. 3. Sync. This button will bring up the sync view, which is where you go to download your songs to your computer, upload audio files from your computer into Studio Mini XL, and recreate and share final mixes. You can take notes clicking on the note button. Songs is where the current song is stored. Tuner brings up the various instruments. Input is for attaching equipment. Here is a picture of tuner. Here is the sync image. Because the iPad's built-in mic and the audio input through the headphone jack are mono. However, if you have a stereo USB audio interface, like a Griffin mic, plugged into the iPad through the camera connection kit, then Studio Mini XL will detect and use it if the switch is on. This is useful if you are connecting external gear to record, like drum machines, samplers, synths, etc. Input is the input module where you can turn software input monitoring on/off. Input monitoring allows you to listen to audio input in real time through Studio Mini XL. Headphones need to be used with this feature in order to avoid feedback. This is also where you enable stereo recording. Turning the switch on enables the feature, but only when available. Why only then? Because the iPad's built-in mic and the audio input through the headphone jack are mono. However, if you have a stereo USB audio interface, like a Griffin emic, plugged into the iPad through the camera connection kit, then Studio Mini XL will detect and use it if the switch is on. This is useful if you are connecting external gear to record, like drum machines, samplers, synths, etc. Most instrument and vocal tracking recording is done in mono though, so if you're using a single mic, for example for vocals or guitar, then leave the switch off and Studio Mini XL will ignore the available stereo input and record in mono. There's a 15 megabytes limit for mixed songs in email. It may be cut short for the email if it is too large. OGG may be the better option for email since it greatly reduces file size compared to WAV. OGG is a compressed format similar to MP3. It can be opened with QuickTime on either a Mac or a Windows PC. Import it into iTunes or GarageBand. Choose Save As from within QuickTime and select iPhone as the destination format.